Welcome back to Naruto Anime Re-Review Part 21. This one we're discussing the Menma Memory Search Mission. Yep, that's the name of the arc. Yeah, this takes episodes 213, 215. And I like the other arcs, which I do remember them pretty well. Not this one. Nope, I don't remember watching this arc when I was originally watching this 3 years ago. I think I may have skipped over it. Because I remember that right after the whole thing with Ninja Dropouts arc went straight to the final arc of the series. This arc I may have skipped over because maybe I didn't find it interesting. I don't know, it's been like 3 years. So, the thing starts off with basic. Now, here's the thing about the character, who basically the title is named after Menma. It's not even his real name. We don't even find out what his real name is. Like, okay, so the arc starts off with the character Menma. He's not called this yet, but I'm gonna call him Menma. Where he is at this random village, where he's with this group of people, these bandits, where they're attacking people, and they're like bloodthirsty. I'm like, what? Okay. The Menma himself does explain this in the final episode of this arc. This arc feels very rushed. Like, yeah, this feels very much rushed. Like, it almost feels like this arc itself could have been longer if, in fact, they probably had not cut it short due to the very next arc of the series. And probably also some of the animators, probably higher ups, really wanted them to start adapting part 2 of the Naruto manga. That's just my purpose, I guess, anyways. Do I feel as though, aside from the fact it feels a bit rushed, I feel as though anything was changed? Not really, no. It basically, if you watch it, like it kind of seems as though this arc could have been longer than just 3 episodes. If I would take a guess, I'd say this arc was probably meant to be about 5 or 6 episodes, not freaking 3. It's like this was like cut in half for absolutely no reason at all, aside from probably budget cuts. Though the animation's still pretty nice. So, he saves a little girl from being killed by one of his people, and he gives her a stone, and he falls off, and then Naruto, we see Naruto trying to get some of this Menma stuff, and he just finds Menma just lying a bunch of rocks, takes him to Hidley Hospital, and of course say, oh yeah, we don't take outsiders, and of course he's treated. He just suffers amnesia, otherwise he's perfectly fine. He's also got hypothermia, and now the thing is, despite that he's suffering from memory loss, it seems that he has a kind-hearted side with him because there was like a fire at the Hidden Leaf Hospital, which he sees a baby, and then we see him work with Naruto on various stuff like helping out senior citizens with groceries, gardening, and one of the things Naruto's asked to do is to clean the Hokage mount, basically the faces. And then of course something more serious happens where one of the ninja like all of a sudden like, what is it, bird poop? And like, no crap, it's freaking blood. And that's when the suspense music basically kicks in. Of course, Naruto saves one of his fellow shinobi from falling, and had this mysterious person attack him. Yet it turns out to be actually, for some reason, I'm not sure why the heck this is. It's kind of implied this actually is the clan he is part of, but as for how the heck to do where he was, never explained. It's kind of like a lot of stuff was cut. Like, I don't blame Viz Media for basically this arc. I blame Studio Parrot for this arc because of how short and rushed it felt. So, we need to find out his memories. So, Naruto volunteers to go to the land of rice paddies. That's what they call it in English dub. It's actually rice fields. So, basically, it goes back to the era he went to just after the Sasuke Chu arc wrapped up. Well, my guess is the reason why they decided to go to this country because the series is about to wrap up, so why not one more visit to that particular country, though there's a mention of Orochimaru, but he's not even seen. Yeah, I think he's mentioned. Also, the leader of this group looks very similar to Orochimaru. It's kind of like they use a similar character design. Like this guy maybe was supposed to be Orochimaru, but they changed it probably last minute to be somebody else. I mean, if you look at him, he looks almost spitting image of Orochimaru, except this guy looks way too thin to be Orochimaru. Like, this guy looks like a freaking twig compared to Orochimaru's being very muscular. So, it turns out now the reason why that this group was attacking this village was for its mine. Yep, that was the reason for it. And as for why the clan was bloodthirsty, never explicitly revealed. Also, it's revealed that apparently Orochimaru took members of the group for his hidden sound village. I'm like, okay, a clan in the land of rice paddies, where Orochimaru took members of the clan. Like, wow, this sounds very familiar. Sounds like the Fuma clan. It's like, I'm like, why in the world would they do this for the second to last arc of the original Naruto anime? Reuse a plot thread from another anime original episode. The answer? No idea. They don't even mention the Fuma clan here. It's like, not even Naruto realizes, though, the fact there basically has a very similar thing done to a different clan. So, by the way, Naruto takes on the leader, who apparently has got the same flute as Togia of the Sound Ninja 4. Why in the world he has this thing? No idea. Also, Menma has his ocarina. Yes, an ocarina. As in the very same item used in the Legend of Zelda video games. Why the heck he has this? Never revealed, because there's like a lot of stuff left out here. I mean, if you look at this ocarina, it looks almost exactly like the way it does in Legend of Zelda. But this is something he just happens to have. Why does he have it? And apparently its power, it doesn't like change time. Nope, it has nothing to do with time travel, this one. Its power is to cancel sound. Like, okay, so maybe Orochimaru took the sound stuff from this particular clan? It's not exactly fully revealed. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of stuff left out here. It's like very much unexplained. So, Men reveals while going to the mind that, yeah, his memory's back. It's been back for a few hours. He's been lying the whole time. Of course, Naruto's inside. Of course, he explains his backstory where his parents had killed him when he was very young. The clan took him in when he was, and of course, for some Orochimaru stuff. And then he sacrificed himself to save this one village, and the village just happened to forgive. Also, he's a member of the bandits, and they say that this particular mark doesn't show up when they should examine him because apparently this particular mark shows up when people are sweating. I'm like, okay, what's the purpose of this particular tattoo? Who the heck knows? Because, well, the studio didn't bother to explain it. So, eventually, of course, leader himself, first his flute is broken by Naruto really easily. And I'm like, Neji, you do know that there actually is a person you've encountered before with a very similar flute. Well, he didn't see it per se, but I'm sure he probably was very bored about it. Did he somehow forget about the Sun Ninja 4? Apparently he did. I get maybe Tenten not know about, but Neji should, because he encountered a woman who has this. Also, when Tsunade basically was questioning about this particular flute's power, it's like it's very similar to Togia's power. And like, okay, so what he saved, and of course Naruto's group is like, okay, so we're gonna head back to the village now because our mission's done. I forgot to mention in my last video. The last one ended in a very hilarious fashion where Naruto, Rock Lee, Sakura, and the captain of that group are basically lost in the woods. Yep, they're lost. This is a very similar vibe to it, like, oh, the mission's done, so let's just go back to Hindley Village. Okay. Oh, and by the way, this is not something that Naruto was hired to do. He just volunteered to do this perfectly for free. Okay? Yeah, kind of disappointing, basically, of how pretty... Also, with Menma's death, basically, is like, okay, the Menma stuff basically takes about a month. Like, what was it gone for a month? It's implied he was, because according to the old man, one who runs the Ika Ramen shop, he says it take about 3 to 4 weeks for getting the brew. I'm like, really? It does? Why? So it looks nice. Okay. So, are you saying Naruto was gone for about a month in this village? I mean, the way it looked in the anime, it looked like he was there maybe 2 days at most. Yeah. I kind of felt as though this arc should have been longer. If in fact that the final arc was not coming up, and the fact that it seems as though a lot of stuff was cut from this arc for like no reason. It's just, oh, let's have an arc that's really short. Like, I kind of wish we got a bit more explanation on like what was Menma's real name, where did he get the ocarina from, and I like a little more about the clan itself. The Vuma clan was actually kind of explained a little bit better when they show up in the Rise Past Investigation arc. This clan is barely explained. It's like even less explained than the Fuma clan. Where, oh, this apparently is where Orochimaru got his sound tools from. Okay. That's what's implied. It's not really downright saying it, but okay. Also, I forgot to mention this, basically. Now, the cut members of those Sound Ninja who were part of the Orochimaru's group, yeah, they're all dead. Yeah, one of them was killed by Gaara. The other two, I kind of forgot what happened to them, and I looked at them like, oh, yeah, these two are used for the reanimation to bring back the first two Hokage. Yep. That's why they don't appear again. I thought they did. I thought one of them did. But nope, they don't. And I kind of remember that Naruto, when he sees one particular person, where it's like, I remember you, and Jiraiya says, you know him? He's like, yeah, we met at the shooting exam. Okay. I don't know when that happened, but I remember that. Maybe it happened in Shippuden. It's possible, yes, but who knows, to say the least. And it's kind of interesting, though, that the character... I kind of remember Jiraiya appearing a little bit more when I initially watched the series 3 years ago. I thought he appeared a little more in the end Naruto stuff, but he didn't. Nope, he appeared for one story arc, first episode of the very next arc, and like a standalone episode, and then he appears... Of course, he's going to appear again in the final arc of the series, which we'll discuss tomorrow. So, if in case you're wondering about Menma Memory Search, it's a pretty forgettable arc. It doesn't really resolve anything. I mean, the only character kind of gets a little bit of development besides Menma himself. This way I think it's a very rushed development. It's probably Naruto. They also reuse another plot thread again for this arc. Not only use a plot thread from the Rise Past Investigation mission, but also use from the Kohan capture plan. So like, oh, a friend of Naruto, where he's not who he seems he is. Though he doesn't have finding him, but like, really, Studio Parrot? You use two plot threads from two different story arcs for the second last arc of your series. Okay, fine. The villain himself, like I said, is a cheap ripoff of Orochimaru. Yeah. Well, all in all, that's it for this particular video, and that's it video today, because I had no other time to make videos today. So, if you're curious, like, how many arcs officially I have left for the original Naruto anime, there's only one. And that's involving the Sand Ninja, making the first appearance in quite a while in the series, which I'm looking forward to watching that one because I love that arc. And then to be on the Shippuden. So, I'm currently reading Aria, the Scarlet Ammo, Book 3. I'm like almost done with Chapter 2, so expect to see start a review of that series probably in the next couple days at most. So tomorrow, expect a review for the final video for this series before I start doing Shippuden, Black Clover, and maybe I'll get a chance to do first review for Shippuden. It's possible to say at least, okay? See you in the next video. Bye.